So, welcome you all for this course. Hope you're able to see my screen now.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is it moving? Yeah. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, lesson number 1. Yesterday, I just gave some overview. Thank you for bearing with me because I didn't show in the PPT. So, today we'll go step by step. So we will, lesson number 1, the principles and application of the Vaishnava culture. So whatever we are learning this, based on the principles written, laid on by Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What is the Vaishnava culture? Okay, Srila Prabhupada mentions culture. There are different cultures existing, Here about 7,000 cultures are existing, of which Vedic culture again is 1700, and spiritual culture, when it comes to filter down, it is only 500. In that, Brahmanical culture is 430, and Bhakti cult is 190, and Vaishnava culture is very, very miniature of all that, which is accounting to only 90 numbers. So what is this Vaishnava culture? The term, it's a Latin term from which it has derived, that is colere. That means to tend the earth and grow and cultivate and nurture. Okay. So the way of life, especially the general customs and belief of a particular group of people, it represents. So majority of the conversation when we have, like India is a secular state and all. So state-wise, we have a different culture. Region-wise, we have a different culture. So we always try to define to that particular region whatever the practices we are performing. Okay. So my birth was in a Vaishnava family. My father was a great Vaishnava. So from birth, I was a Vaishnava culture only. So this is a Srila Prabhupada lecture on February 13th, 1974 in Vrindavan. Okay. So by birth and by practice, Srila Prabhupada was a true Vaishnava. The main aim of the course is to cultivate aspects of the Vaishnava way of life, because we have joined ISKCON organization. Now that all of you are prepared to take the initiation and take the shelter of the Guru and aspire to and practice this Vaishnava lifestyle. So you should know what are all practices which are required to be a true Vaishnava. To cultivate aspects of Vaishnava way of life as presented in teachings of Srila Prabhupada through ISKCON communities. So welcome to this Vaishnava culture course. So in this we learn about the principles and formal venues, what is your attire and expected the association of the devotees, cleanliness part, prasada seva, Vaishnava dress, and the formal association. So these are the 4 topics we are going to cover now. Yeah, this a sample picture, because Mayapur is a major institute which conducts these. This is how it looks like. Prabhupada and classroom norms. Just like if you enter into any education institution, if you don't surrender yourself to the rules and regulations of the institutions, you can get advantage of the knowledge imparted. How can you get advantage of the knowledge imparted by the institution? If you take example in Bhagavad Gita also, as per 2.7, Arjuna was totally surrendered on to the Lord. He says, now that I'm totally confused, whatever you say, Krishna, I am ready to listen to you. So you should have that much amount of a submissionness whenever one attend the class. In that way, we will be benefited by it through a maximum way. Everywhere, wherever you wanted to receive something, you have to be controlled, or you have to be surrendered to the rules and regulation of that particular place, institutions, or the spiritual or the guru whom you are taking under this You are learning this. If you do not follow the rules and regulations of the class, it is not possible to receive the knowledge as per Bhagavad Gita 7.2, San Francisco, told by Srila Prabhupada in San Francisco on September 11, 1968. Coming to the essence of this Vaishnava culture, स्मर्तव्यो सतता विन्यो विस्मर्तव्यो न जातुचित् सर्वे विधि निनेधौ स्युरेतयोरेव कीकरौ. So Krishna should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastras are the servants of these two principles. So Lord always should be remembered as per the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.113 from Padma Purana. The conclusion is that one must act in such a way that he will always remember Krishna. Okay, whatever activities we are doing day in and day out, and one must refrain from doing things that makes him forget the Krishna. Okay, so these two principles form the basic backgrounds of the Krishna consciousness. The essence of the Vaishnava culture. Just like the Europeans, American students, sometimes they cannot adopt the principles of the Sadachara as it is recommended, but that doesn't matter because they have devoted and they sacrificed their life for Krishna. They are sadhus. They should be given respect of the sadhu because they have no other business other than the Krishna. Okay. So, yes, different sampradaya, it takes some time for adaptation. But once they have taken Krishna consciousness, they should be respected for their spiritual practices. So, coming to the time and place, Bhishma Deva received and welcomed all the great and the powerfuls who were assembled there, the Pandavas who were assembled there, for he knows perfectly all the religious principles according to the time and place. So here, the time and place, there is no time and place to know about the Lord. Once, it can be anything, like Gita was told in the battlefield. So, Bhishma Pitamaha has imparted this knowledge of what do you say, the military arts, administration, how to rule, and all those things when he was lying down in a bed of arrows. So there is no particular restriction for the time and place to know about the Lord. So expert religionists know perfectly how to adjust to the principal terms in terms of time and place. The great acharyas or the religious preachers, examples of Bhishma Pitamaha, they adjust the religious principles in terms of a time and place. Different climates and situations in different part of the world. When we go to the extreme temperature in different parts of the world, but if one has to discharge his duties to preach the message of the Lord, he must be expert in adjusting the things in terms of the time and place. In cold climate, we protect ourselves from the winter clothing. In hot climate, we try to wear which help us to breathe. So we have to adjust accordingly and do the upachara as per that, but we should never try to forget our service towards Krishna. So one has to consider the particular country, conveniences. What is convenient in India may not be convenient in the Western world. As I told you, the climatic conditions. Those who are not actually in the lines of acharyas or who are personally have no knowledge of how to act in the role of acharya unnecessarily criticize the activities of the ISKCON movement in the countries outside of India. So simply it is that ignorance that shouldn't be encouraged. The fact in such critics cannot do anything personally to spread Krishna consciousness. If someone does go and preach, still taking all risk and allowing all considerations for time and place, it might be that there are changes in the manner of worship, but it is not at all a faulty according to the Shastra. Here we are learning about a few words. Agraha means eagerness to accept whatever it is been imparted, and agraha means failure to accept. Okay, so agraha is eager. We should all be eager to know about the Lord. Similarly, we should not be agraha, that is failure to accept. We should not be doing that. And by addition of these two words to the word niyama, that is the rules and regulations, the word niyamagraha is formed. Niyamagraha. Okay. Rules and regulations, we are ready to accept it. Niyamas, the rules, agraha, eagerness to accept. So, actually there is a skip, but here we are not doing it. Srila Prabhupada comments on the Niyama Agraha as per Srimad Bhagavatam, pages 67. Over attachment to the Shastric rule related to the Vaishnava culture at the expense of preaching, neglecting the Shastric rules related to the Vaishnava culture which can be conveniently followed. Okay, there is a skit. Srila Prabhupada is saying, I have to propagate this mission of Krishna consciousness, so I'm not so much attached to the rules and regulations. But I am more or less interested or attached to the preaching work. So, therefore, this Niyamagraha is also against Krishna consciousness. And Niyamagraha, when you are in a quite convenient position, if you do not observe the rules and regulations, that also is against the Krishna consciousness. So you should always abide to the rules and regulations to uh, do the sadhana. Okay. And it is a characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnavatic. Maintenance of the Vaishnavatic is the ornament to the devotee. Okay. So one recognized as a true Vaishnava when we are going out, being in a Vaishnava type. If one transgresses the law of ethics, people make fun of him and thus he vanquished in both the world and the next. By observing the ethic, you may have satisfied my mind. So, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. He's saying here, you can see on the right hand side, these are the words which are told by the one who is there in the golden color, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is saying to Sanatana Goswami. This is commentary has been taken from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, 4th chapter, 129 to 132 verse. Therefore, we are endeavoring to create some ideal men, Krishna conscious men, their character, their behavior, and their ideal aim of life. So, those who have taken Krishna consciousness seriously, they should be a ideal men. So, the society will see them and they say, yes, a men should be like this. So, we are creating certain standards in the society. The society will be benefited at least by seeing their behavior. And Krishna conscious movement through music, you can see during Mangalarati, we play the bhajans and we do the arti and we do the Sankirtana movement and all. The philosophy is through the Srimad Bhagavatam lectures, spiritual culture by the Vaishnava attire we are doing and Prasada Sevana and all those things and personal behavior culminating in ideal character of the devotees. All these heavenly contributions combined together will certainly bring about a major change in the life of the Western people. So this you can see. So how difficult it is to train a person, but Srila Prabhupada at his very elder age, at the age of 69, he has taken this challenge to go to the West and teach the Western population. You can see he made many devotees there. Okay. This is one, a brief overview about this course. Now I'll go to the next one. Hope it is visible now. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Vaishnava etiquette formal venues. At the time of offering obeisances unto the Lord Vishnu, a foolish person chants Vishnamaya Namaha. It is improper due to faulty grammar. And a learned person chants Vishnave Namaha. This is the correct form. Okay. If you achieve equal piety by offering of obeisances, because the Lord Sri Janardana sees the sentiment of the living being. In other words, he sees the degree of devotion, or in other words, he awards the result accordingly. Okay. So properly we have to uh, greet and offer the obeisances unto the elders or the acharyas whom we are coming in contact. Okay. The worship of Krishna should be performed in a way that a king is worshipped in a palace. How the king is being given all the upacharas, all the servants, how they are all time taking care, how they can take care of him in all the way. So the same way we have to do the service to the Lord Krishna in his palace. So in Vrindavana, there are many hundreds of temples wherein deity is worshipped exactly like a king. In the Naradiya Purana, it is stated, if person stays in Lord Krishna's temple even for a few moments, he can surely achieve the transcendental kingdom of the God. So such are the energies of Lord Krishna. Coming to the pranama, how you have to offer the Dandavat pranam to Lord Krishna. In the Naradiya Purana, there is a statement about bowing down and offering respect to the deity. The person who has once offered respects bowing down before the deity will not come back to this world, because he will go directly to the abode of the Krishna, as per the Nectar of Devotion, chapter number 9. So yesterday I was not able to focus on this. This is how the Prabhujis has to offer the obeisances onto the Lord in a full prone position. So we will see what are different pranamas which we can offer to the Lord. Okay. Dandavat pranam, where arm, feet, knees, chest, head, eyes, mind, everything is offered onto the Lord. And uh, this is a partial pranama, Paichaka pranama, that is arm, knees, head, mind, and words. That is half pranama, which most of the Matajis, they will do it. And Dandavat pranama, again the same thing. Last is pranama mudra, at least greeting each other by saying Hare Krishna. Okay. What are the transgressions to avoid while offering the obeisances? Do not offer obeisances when the Lord is resting. Okay. Not with one hand like this. Wearing garments on the upper part of his body. Reciting pranam mantra silently. No, we have to recite it very loudly. And to the spiritual master in the presence of a deity. Okay. We should offer obeisances onto the Lord first, and never in us when he is resting, not with a one hand. And do not recite the pranam mantra silently, and not to the spiritual master in front of the deity, with the feet pointed in the direction of Srila Prabhupada or the Garta. So, when the devotee falls down the ground to offer obeisances to Lord Vishnu, all the sins of his body also fall down and become destroyed. When he get up, he becomes free from all the sins. Okay, this is the picture of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. He is offering the pranam to the Lord. So, this is the correct position to offer obeisances onto the Lord. So, a small a few slides about the temple room etiquette. So, ever a person who has never been able to give in charity, who has never been able to perform a great sacrifice, who has never been able to study the Vedas, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in other words, even one who has never done any pious activities, will come eligible to enter into the kingdom of God if he simply drinks the Charanamrita, which is kept in the temple. Charanamrita, what is Charanamrita? Anybody knows? Yes?
The water that is Abhisheka made for the deities.
Yes, Mataji. So if one drinks the Charanamrita also, his life will be pious and ultimately he will reach God. So Lord Brahma tells Narada, my dear Narada, anyone who put his neck, the flower garland, neck on his neck, the flower garland which was formerly used by Krishna, becomes relieved from all the disease and reaction to the sinful activities, and gradually he is liberated from the contamination of the matter. Okay, whatever the flowers which are offered to the Lord, at least that has been taken into, ultimately he will be free from all contamination. If someone sees the face of the Lord while Aarti is going on, he can be relieved of all the sinful reactions coming from many thousands and thousands or millions of years past. So he is even excused from killing of the Brahmana or the similar prohibited activities. So any devotee coming into the temple should always offer something to the Lord, either a fruit, a flower, or incense. If one cannot offer anything in cash, something else must be offered. In India, the system is that all the ladies and gentlemen who come into the morning to visit temple bring so many things. Even one morsel of rice or even one morsel of flour can be offered, but you should never go empty hands to the Lord's place. Even a flower, a little fruit, a little water, whatever is possible must be offered to the Lord. Okay. Regarding your questions about the dancing should be done enthusiastically by raising the hands like Panchatattva. You can also dance enthusiastically by raising hands. All of the Lord Chaitanya followers used to dance with the raised hands. So this is a picture of our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. You can see he is just dancing with his raised hands. So this is the picture of, again, Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Mahaprabhu, who are dancing in ecstasy with all the devotees around. So Pariprachna. So one must submit questions with a greater regard for the speaker and the subject matter. So can somebody say this picture is from the characteristics or the characters who are there in this picture?
Shukamuni reciting Srimad Bhagavad Purana to Parikshit Maharaj.
Sukadeva Goswami. Who is the Parikshit Maharaj? Who is the Sukadeva Goswami?
Parikshit Maharaj is Arjuna's great grandson, and Shukadeva Goswami is Vyasadeva's son.
Okay. In this picture, identify who is who.
The one sitting on the seat is Sukadeva Goswami, and the one sitting below is Parikshit Maharaj.
This is when Parikshit Maharaj give up on everything and he will come to Sukadeva Goswami and he will say, only 1 week is left in my life. Tell me what I have to do so that I will go back to the Godhead. So the Bhagavad Purana, okay, it is always recommended to hear it from the very authentic sources. So we should not hear from here and there. Okay. If you question just to examine his strength, so we should not doubt his capabilities or ability. We should completely surrender on to the spiritual master whom we are surrendering. Ask the questions. Okay. And no point in asking the materialistic thing. Generally, you should answer questions which will bring out the realizations and help you to progress in a bhakti. Question put by the saintly person to another saintly person about the Supreme Personality of the Godhead or about the ultimate goal of life to surcharge everything spiritually. Whoever takes advantage of such discussions is benefited both in this life and in the next life. So we should not waste time on the mundane things. So can somebody say this picture represents what? Who is the person who is sitting in the couch?
Sudama. Sudama Mataji.
Okay, okay. What is Lord Krishna
Krishna
offering
is
to?
washing the feet of Sudama.
Okay, okay. So why did Sudama is so debilitated here and why he's sitting here? Is there any story behind that?
Actually, Sudama comes to ask for a favor. His wife wanted him, like they were very poor, and it was very hard for them even to feed the children. So she asked, like, your friend is there in Dwarka, who is a king, Krishna. So why don't you go and ask him the favor? So that's why he comes. But and while coming also, I mean, they were so poor that they borrowed some poha from the neighbor house, and he carried in like a small potli, and he brought. And when he came, even the guards were like they informed Krishna that somebody like in this name has come, and Krishna came running to receive him, and he gave it with all the so much of love, and he actually grabbed also that poha from his hand, and Krishna started having it. And I think yeah, Rukmini Devi stopped in between, already like so many lives. Karma has been, I mean, so much opulence have been given to him for many lifetimes. So now you stop like that. She stops him, and I think there he is taking care of Sudama and washing. And we understand that before, I mean, Sudama didn't ask, like for some days he was there, but he never felt like asking Krishna, because Krishna is Paramatma. He could make out what he had in heart. And when he reached the home, there was a palace there in place of the hut. And that is the story, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, what is the summary of this story? What is the learning? What we have to take from this? Anybody? Take home message, I can say.
Like when somebody is without any expectation, loves Krishna. So Krishna also actually reciprocates in the same way, Mataji.
We just have to do our sadhana towards Krishna. He will take care of everything what we need.
Yeah.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. How we have to receive guests? This is one particular example where Lord Krishna is giving us an example how to receive any guest. Here Lord Krishna is the king of Dwarka, but despite that, he has received his childhood friend in a very like how we welcome the God to our home. Not less than that. So and he did all the upachar. You can see him. He's washing his feet and giving him nice clothes to wear and giving all the king like comforts. Okay, whenever a guest is been received, so we should try to serve them to our maximum capability. Uh, so he, uh, uh, so by that, uh, see, Jivatma is there in every individual, but it shows our greatness as a true Vaishnava. Okay. The reception laws enjoins that a poor man who has nothing to offer his guest should be good enough to offer a straw mat for sitting, okay, and a glass of water for drinking and some sweet words. Okay, you don't have to give him a lot more things. Just a place. Yes, I am there for you. Please be seated. Have some water and just ask about the whereabout of that person. That is more than enough. Therefore, to receive a guest, either friend or a foe, there is no expense for that. It is only a question of good manners. Okay. Uh, Srila Prabhupada's statements regarding receiving guests has been told in pages 15 to 18. There is a role play for that. So here we are not doing that. So guidelines for receiving guests is that offer sitting place to sit, make them comfortably sit, and offer the obeisances, say Hare Krishna, offer the prasadam which is being offered to the Lord, and offer few sweet words, offer worship to Brahmana or the sannyasa, the guest, at least apply the sandalwood paste, and received entourage also. Okay, and host should take prasadam only after the guest. And when a Vaishnava leaves, one should follow them up to some distance. Therefore, we can get from our Shastra that even you will receive your enemy at home, you will receive him so friendly that he will forget that you are his enemy. Okay, gahe chatrum api praptya vishwastam akutobhyam. So he should feel himself so confidential that he is not near his enemy. His dealing and behavior are so nice. So we have to so forgiveful towards our enemies also, and we have to be very good when they are coming to our home. The morality is that whatever you may be, you have come to my home. You are my guest. So I must offer you all kind of hospitality. Never mind, you are my enemy, you are my guest. And so how much ethically improve the society was. So we should be so compassionate, and with humility we have to receive them. But they will take it. Some of you will take it, provided you remain also idle. If you become also degraded, then who will take it? Ideal character, ideal behavior, ideal preaching, people will appreciate. So whatever may be the situation, we should not take it forward, but we should receive them with a great respect. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So next we will take to cleanliness part. So you cannot neglect, because outside clean, unclean means inside also you will see unclean. If you keep both sides clean, then you will be healthy inside and outside. Okay. Cleanliness, always clean. Taking thrice bath, this is for the brahmacharis. Cloth clean, wearing the clean clothes. Mind should be clean, body should be clean, activity should be clean, and desire should be clean, thinking should be clean, and everything should be clean. No contamination, as per the Srila Prabhupada lecture on January 23, 1974 in Honolulu. So you have washed inside and outside, taken your bath, then you will feel always refreshed. Unless you feel refreshed, you cannot very nicely chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra or serve Krishna. Therefore, cleanliness is required, as per the Srila Prabhupada lecture. Next comes, we have learnt about the internal and shuchi, cleanliness of internal and external. Now we are coming about the kitchen cleanliness. The refrigerator should always be very cleansed and pure. Everyone should be careful to take only as much as they can eat. They cannot keep any leftovers in the refrigerator. I know this is the practice in our country, but in temples or at homes of a Krishna conscious person, a person should not indulge in any such unclean habits. They should always prepare fresh and hot food and serve it as a prasadam to the Lord, and have that prasadam. No food which has been offered should never be put back into the refrigerator with an unoffered food or brought back into the kitchen. Okay. During breakfast, Srila Prabhupada, they dipped pieces of fruits directly into the bowl rather than taking some salt from it onto the plate and leaving the rest. I cleaned up after I left the salt bowl on the table, thinking it would be all right to use it for another meal. So once we are done, we have to clean the premises which we are using, clean all the utensils. So call me a Yavana, he complained about the Western eating habit or saving the remnants of the food. So we should always prepare fresh food, have the fresh food, and after having the food, we should clean the utensils which we are using and move on to the we should the utensils should be kept back from the place where we have taken out. Okay. Shuddhi vichara, maintaining the purity. So you must live up to the rules and regulations of Brahmanical life. First and foremost is the cleanliness. In your country, they have so many filthy habits. For example, they don't wash after eating. The Brahmana do not like that. If he did so in India, he would be highly criticized. Okay. So even if you eat a little, still you must wash immediately. And the place that you must eat at must be washed off immediately also. Okay. The place should be made clean immediately so that it is useful for next person who will come and use it. Picking up his plate in one hand and the fruit in the other, I started from the door, but Srila Prabhupada immediately stopped me. He pointed out that the plate, having been eaten from, was dirty. I had picked it up, contaminating myself by touching it. Then I touched the fruit to be offered to the deity. He told me to wash my hands and take the item separately. So we should not do multitasking. Do only one thing at a time. So first offer the naivedya to the Lord and do anything else. I was sitting on the floor eating from a bowl and a spoon, and I was knelt back and the spoon down, rested my hand on the knee. Immediately, Srila Prabhupada looked at me and said, "Oh, you are eating?" And then he put his hand on different places of his body as if to illustrate a child contaminating his clothes with a dirty hand. So, we should eat in a proper way and try to sit in a proper way and try to eat the prasadam which is being offered. So, we should not try to touch our hand here and there. So, immediately we should have the food and get up from that place. So if they come in contact with either nose, mucus, phlegm, tears, perspiration, earwax, exudates from the eyes and all, they have to purify with the water. Okay. And if they are coming in contact with the fat, semen, blood, marrow, urine, and stool, one has to purify with earth or soap and water. So, when a person is having a sex, bad dream, shaving and cutting hair, cutting fingernails, vomiting, evacuation, going to crematorium, then they should take the bath for sure. So, Parthiva Snana is using the earth as a material to bathe. Varuna Snana using the water. Agnya Snana using the ashes from the sacrificial fire. Vayavya Snana containing air filled with the dust raised by the cows. Divya Snana in rain that falls while the sun is shining. And Mantra Snana chanting appropriate words sprinkling the water. And Manasika Snana is meditating upon the Vishnu. So these are the different bathing practices. So, and Yamuna or Ganga or any other holy river, Tirtha, river, canal, pond, lake, waterfall, water from the well, or any clean water, we should take this and do the snana. Okay. Prathar madhyayo now snanaha, vanaprastha gahastayo. Householders and vanaprasthas should bathe 2 times a day, and sannyasi should bathe 3 times daily, and a brahmachari may take only one bath a day. Okay, as per the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 24th chapter, 331 sloka purport. So this is an exercise, not required. Whether one lives in India or outside of India, he is called a Yavana or Necha if he does not follow the Vedic principles. One who does not actually follow the hygienic principles prescribed in the Vedic rules and regulations will be subjected to many contagious diseases, as per Srimad Bhagavatam. Your country, America, will become so much degraded if they appreciate, if they are, so much degraded that they will appreciate if we are revolutionary clean. I stress on this cleanliness very much. If they keep unclean, I chastise them like anything. They have learned this art. I always say cleanliness is next to godliness. Okay, this is a room in a car conversation on December 22nd, 1976 in Pune. Okay. So this is the last topic for today. Prasada Sevanam. So how one has to take the prasadam. Okay. Prasada Seva Kurita Hoya Sakala Prapancha Jayaha. Okay. I conquer all worldly illusions by honoring the Lord's Prasadam. This is the picture of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu who are dancing in ecstasy. And you have got all the devotees who are sitting in and around the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They have been offered the Lord's. If any one of you has gone to the Jagannath temple, you can see these are the the typical pots in which the bhoga is being offered to the Lord. Yes, anybody is been there? They remember these pots? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So the food is offered to all the devotees and they're just having with ecstasy. So what are the guidelines when we are offering the food, giving the food and having the food? We will see. Krishna is more pleased when grains and ghee, instead of being offered in the fire, are prepared as a prasada and distributed first to the brahmanas and then to others. This system pleases the Krishna more than anything else. So let us see what are the principles of the prasada sevanam. Okay. So principles of prasada seva. Nimai Pandita serves prasadam to 20 sannyasis. Okay. And he also serves prasadam to Srila Ishwarapuri. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts prasadam at the house of Advaita Mahaprabhu. And in the what is it? In the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is this? The Kirtana, pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu tastes nectars from the lip of Sri Chaitanya, Sri Krishna. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is been invited to different just Advaita Mahaprabhu and other places, where he offered prasadam to all the devotees who we have seen in the previous slide. They will come and different devotees, they volunteer in which one is Ananda Mahaprabhu and Advaita Mahaprabhu. They offer to cook the prasadam at their home, and the prasadam is being distributed to the devotees. So let us see what are the guidelines for serving the prasadam. Okay, always the utensil should be clean. It should be, whenever we are having maintaining a kitchen should be having a separate sink for the utensils which we are using to offer the bhoga to the Lord, and a separate sink for the washing purpose. Okay. Immediately after you eat, the utensil should be washed and put it in the proper place and all. But if you fail to so both the sinks should be totally different. It should not be mixed. Okay. And so let us see. Senior devotee will sit at the head of the line when we are offering, distributing the prasadam. Do not touch plates or hands of those who are eating. Use only the right hand to serve the prasada. Do not touch your mouth, feet, hair, or the lower body when you're serving the prasadam. Avoid yawning or sneezing. Serving vessel should not touch anyone's feet. Guest should never be left with an empty plate. Host may describe the wonderful qualities of the item. Everyone sitting should be offered the same items. Okay. Order in which it has been served. You can see first rice and chapati should be served. Then the curries like chukta and spinach should be given. Then the dal should be given. Then the savory should be given. Then the sabji, lighter to richer, that is from wet to dry, should be given. Then lastly, raita, chutney and sweet should be given. Sweets less to more sweets. So this is the order. Never serve dry items or sweets in threes. Okay. First rice and chapati, followed by bitter ones, that is and bitter sabji, then dal, then savories, then sabji, raita, chutney, sweets. Okay. So let us see now the prasadam is ready. How we have to honor this, the guidelines for honoring the prasadam. Okay, you can see our great spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, is honoring the prasadam. So we should always sit in a clean and a peaceful place on an unbroken asana using an unbroken plate. Light conversation relating to Krishna or glorifying the prasada. Do not eat or drink water while sitting on the bed. Okay. Not in the presence of an unknown or inimical person. Not that in which the hair or insect is found. It should be abandoned. Do not start until everyone has some prasada in their plate. Wait for the senior devotee present to begin. So it's a matter of a respect. If someone enters, invite them to take prasada. Keep left hand on the ground. all the energy is sapped by the earth. Keep water cup up to the right hand side of the one's plate. Do not take large items in the mouth and tear it with the teeth. Chant Prema Dhvani at the end before rising. Wait for the senior devotee to rise before rising. So these are the basic ethics one has to follow once we are taking the prasadam. So one should take prasadam with a great faith and should chant the holy name of the Lord and worship the deity in the temple, always remembering that deity, Mahaprasadam, and the holy name do not belong to the mundane platform. By worshipping the deity, eating prasadam, and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can always remain on the spiritual platform. Okay. So this is the picture of Lord Krishna and the Gopabalas. Anybody remember the story of this? Anybody from the audience?
This was just before the Brahma Vimoha Leela, no, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So Krishna was actually grabbing from one of his friend and he was having the sweet, so, which bewildered Lord Brahma, and he wanted to test if he was really Lord Krishna.
Then he'll abduct all the Gopabalas and Krishna has to replicate himself and he'll be replacing all the cows, calves and his friends. So, yeah. So it is called the Prasada Seva, not Prasada enjoyment. Seva means giving service. Prasada is as good as Krishna. Therefore, Prasada should be respected as good as Krishna. As soon as one gets Prasadam, immediately he touches on the head because it is Krishna. Absolute. In this way, we have been trained up it as a prescribed in the Shastras. So this picture of, again, picture of Srila Prabhupada who is taking the Prasadam. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we'll finish it off. 2 more PPTs are there that I will do tomorrow. Dress and the respect in the Vaishnava society. So that we'll be completing this. Then we'll start with the, what is it? Artis, Mangala Artis. Any doubt, anything you can ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Thank you,
Mataji,
Mataji. Hare
can
Krishna.
we share the PPTs?
I will just ask the admins, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah, anything, anybody has any doubt? Hope it is clear. Okay, fine.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
But
okay.
Mataji, practically, like few things we cannot, difficult for us to follow in family life. Like the thing like leftovers, like we keep dosa batter, we keep the chapati batter, these things. So yes, Mataji. I felt like
Yes,
I think
Mataji,
there
but
is,
one should
yeah.
avoid it. But certain things is okay, Mataji. But some people, they cook only once a week and keep everything in the fridge, they
Ah,
reheat and eat.
yeah, yeah. Yes, yes,
Some
that's
people
wrong.
once together. So this is in general applicable to all those people who do such practices,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, the pickle, we keep it for an year long, still we have it.
Yes, yes.
So certain rules and regulations, like the only philosophical, not from the philosophical and the scientific point of view also.
Mm.
If you are eating fresh, it is free from all sort of a contaminations, germs and everything. The more amount you are storing it, the more germs and contamination will be there, so it will affect your health. So in that way also our Shastras has designed in such a way, eat fresh then and there and finish it off. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think like for Sattva Guna also they say, right? Like if you eat the fresh food, be more in Sattva
So
Guna.
will be a consciousness. If you are eating the stale food, so will be a consciousness.
Yeah.
So Once
Yes.
we have taken up Krishna consciousness, we will eat fresh only, Mataji.
Yeah.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I think that
Hare Krishna.
fermented food and all, maybe for a day, because it has to be overnight fermented. Next day only it is ready to use. So maybe we should prepare in such a way that it can be consumed in the same day. It should not get left over to the another day. The quantities can be restricted. Yeah. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Thank you, co-host and participants, for active participation. See you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Krishna.